And this week is all about loving myself, since no one else fucking will. Hi besties, welcome. It's the worst holiday of the year. In general, I do detest the holiday. I am that annoying bitch in all of the romance movies that says it's a capitalist creation with really no purpose or point and that you should show people you love them every day. However, because it's Valentine's Day and I needed content, I am therefore playing into the capitalist machine and making a Valentine's Day video. I have had multiple people tell me that they want me to read more romance on this channel, and the gag is I just do not read romance in general. I like to read books that have a romance in them. Very rarely do I sit down and read fluffy romance books that make me smile because I love pain. This week we're changing it up. I'm gonna read 4 of the most popular romance books and I'm gonna give you my thoughts. I really want to like them because I want to read something like soft and fluffy, so I'm really hoping that I like them. I have liked romance in the past. I love Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I love classic romance novels like Pride and Prejudice, A Room with a View. But as a card-carrying member of the Lonely Hearts Club, I do also think these books might make me sad by way of they're cute, and I don't have that. If I had any semblance of a love life or, you know, a romantic tryst, a sordid affair that I was going through, maybe I would appreciate this genre more, but for the next week, I'm just gonna be reading these fluffy romance books, and by God, all I want is for it to thaw my cold, dead heart. At the end of this video, I want to put my hand on my chest and feel a little thump thump. We're using these books as defibrillators, trying to get that flat line to be more of like a mountain valley situation. I'm also going to use this video as an excuse to eat a lot of chocolate and buy myself flowers. Buy yourself some flowers on Valentine's Day, whether or not you're with somebody, because you deserve it. I would do it for you, but I don't know where you live. This video is exciting because for the first time on this channel, we are whipping out my Kindle. I was able to find a bunch of these books on the library, so I don't have to pay for them. She is my Valentine. My Kindle is my Valentine. Let's give her a name. What should I name my Kindle? Tell me down below. Let me tell you what books I'm reading. TikTok's favorite romance book at the moment, which is The Love Hypothesis. If I am not mistaken, this is Reylo Star Wars fan fiction. It's like a 50 Shades of Grey Twilight fan fiction situation. I do like Star Wars. I'm excited to read this one because I feel like so many people really love it, so it has to be good. It's about a workaholic, I think, girl, and she works in a science lab, and then there's this guy who works with her. You're gonna see how little I know about these books as I try to explain them to you right now, because all I know about this is it's Star Wars fan fiction, and it's about a girl who works in a lab, and the guy does too, and I think his name's Adam. No, that's Adam Driver, the actor who plays Kylo Ren. I'm gonna read that. Then we have Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. The Brown Sisters trilogy is widely regarded as a smash hit in the romance genre. Again, I know nothing about it. I know it is about a Black woman named Chloe Brown. I think her love interest is a ginger. I'm excited about that one. I've heard that they're very funny and also very cute. Then I'm gonna read People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I have very high hopes for this one. I feel like it's going to be good. What I know about this book is that there are some people and they meet on vacation and I think they fall in love. I did read Beach Read last year and I didn't love it. I know everybody loves Beach Read, but I was just not a huge fan. But for whatever reason, I have a good feeling about People We Meet on Vacation. So my fingers are crossed. I'm hoping I really like it. Last but not least, I'm gonna read The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I'm excited to read from another Sally. I tend to have a good track record with bitches named Sally. I want to read this one specifically because Noelle Gallagher talks about it so much and I love Noelle. I'm much more of a friends to lovers girl if I'm being honest, but I'm excited. I want to watch the movie adaptation, but I want to read the book first. That's all I know. It's 2 people who hate each other, but they work together and then they must fall in love because it's in the romance genre. You know how people do little affirmations in the mirror every morning? My personal affirmation, and one I'm happy to share with you, is a quote from Little Women. I am happy as I am and love my liberty far too well to be in a hurry to give it up for any mortal man. Anyway, let's read about some swoon-worthy mortal men and then decide whether we're in a hurry to give up our liberty. Might be. No, we're not. We might be.
I finished Chloe Brown and I really liked it for the most part. There were some things or moments that were like just a little too cliche for me, but overall it was really good. During the climax of the book, I was like freaking out. I'm sure you saw from the footage I inserted. Now I'm reading People We Meet on Vacation. I'm like a quarter into it and I'm liking it so far. I love friends to lovers. We've got a only one bed trope going on. I'm not mad at it. Like, I don't hate it. I know people shit on this trope all the time, but like, friends to lovers and a one bed. I love Alex, vibing with him quite a lot. I'm a little iffy on Poppy. I'm gonna keep reading. Anyway, one bed. There's only one bed. Update. There's a pull-out chair in addition to the one bed. And this is hilarious to me because this actually happened to me. Walked into the Airbnb. There was one bed and I was like, hold up a second. And then we realized the other bed that had been listed was a pull-out chair. We are in love. They're super gay, but I've been there. I finished People We Meet on Vacation and I really liked it. It was so cute. It was so cute. It's so sweet and I love Alex and I love Poppy. I liked it way more than I liked Beach Read. I feel like that's a hot take. I feel like everybody really loved Beach Read, but I thought it was just okay. I will be reading Book Lovers when it comes out. Emily Henry said Book Lovers has accidental Roy Kent energy, and I am in love with that FIFA looking man. But I did realize while I was reading it that all the books I chose were straight romances and we can't have that. So I asked y'all on Instagram for your recommendations and a lot of you suggested She Drives Me Crazy. Also, I listened to Lemonade by Beyonce from top to bottom today and I'm like not doing well. Anyway, I'm gonna read a little bit of this book. Catch up with you later. I just took my dog to her training class. She's all tired out and I'm all tired out, but I'm going to just take some quiet time and read. But I have my tea, I have my favorite candle lit. I'm just very cozy. Okay, I finished She Drives Me Crazy. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to at the beginning. After like the first chapter, I was like, this is gonna be a little bit too cheesy YA for me. And like it was, but I sort of stepped back and tried to like imagine reading it as a high schooler or a middle schooler, and I think it's definitely the kind of book that I wish I had in middle school or high school, because I didn't have very many lesbian stories, and especially not very many lesbian stories in which the characters were like happy. And it was a nice break from the like testosterone male love interests I've been reading. Next, I'm gonna read the fucking Star Wars fan fiction, The Love Hypothesis. And like, here's the thing. I'm not excited about it. I don't even know what it's about. I know there's some science in it, and I only know that because they're in lab coats and there are test tubes on the cover. But maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly surprised by all three of the first ones I read. Ignore my hair, not my best look, but it's okay because I'm cleaning. Today is my like self Valentine's Day where I'm gonna get myself some flowers and some chocolate. But before I start all that, my room is a mess and it's stressing me out. So I'm gonna clean my room before I start any of that. Okay, so I have an update, which is that my Kindle is not working. So what I think I'm gonna do is, obviously I need to go to the bookstore and buy these 2 books. Big reputation hours. We can't make. They had both in paperback. God bless. I'm gonna watch Sleepless in Seattle, which feels like a must because I've never seen it. So I'm gonna paint my nails and look at my pretty flowers and eat my chocolate and love myself. Olive is a fucking idiot. Bunch of the most popular romance books. I have some thoughts and, shockingly, some feelings in the heart region. But let's go in order. Let's first talk about Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I feel like I really started off the video strong because Get a Life, Chloe Brown was so much fun. It was a really funny. I thought both of the main characters, Chloe and Red, were fleshed out just so well, and they felt like real actualized people. I don't know if it's technically classified as enemies to lovers, but it had those vibes. Talia Hibbert's writing was just really sharp and funny and so sweet. It wasn't just fluff. There was an exploration of what it's like to live with chronic pain. There were conversations about how past relationships and trauma have affected both of the characters in their current state and in their current relationship that I thought were really true and really well handled. I have heard that Danny's book is even better than Chloe Brown, so maybe when I'm in the mood for romance again, I'll read that. I'm a little bit romanced out now. Next, I read People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, and I don't know if you can tell by the fact that I can't wipe this stupid grin off my face, but chef's kiss, my compliments to the chef. I haven't stopped thinking about it since I read it. It was so cute. Here's the thing. While I was reading it, I was like, man, I'm really liking this more than I thought I would. At the end of the book, there's like a note on the text, and I read it, and Emily Henry wrote it as an homage to When Harry Met Sally, which is my favorite movie of all time. Of course I liked it. It really is a Harry Sally story. It's just so much about 2 old friends who over time keep running into each other, and they don't want to jeopardize their friendship by admitting their feelings for each other, but eventually they have to. Alex Nilsson is everything to me. This really solidified my opinion that friends to lovers is far superior to enemies to lovers, because in a friends to lovers story, there's really high stakes. You don't want to lose your friend by admitting you have feelings for them, and so there's a lot of secret yearning. I just don't get enemies to lovers. I just don't. But friends to lovers is where it's at, and this one was so good. I want a movie version of this. Such interesting characters to read about. It satisfied this travel bug that I've been having for the last few months. Just such a nice way to kind of escape and get to do that through a novel. So I was doing it safely from my own home. Highly recommend. I loved it. It was funny. It was sweet. It was emotional. It was all of the things that I look for in a romance book. I cannot wait for book lovers to come out. I will be acquiring it upon its release. After that, I wanted to take a break from the straights, and so I picked up She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quinlan, which is a YA lesbian romance. I thought this was really good for what it was. It was a good YA romance. There were moments that were a little too cliche for me, or a little bit too stereotypically YA, but overall I think I would have really appreciated having a book like this when I was growing up and
trying to figure out my sexuality. I really liked Irene in this book. Scotty was fine as a narrator, but I just loved all the descriptions of Irene and like slowly kind of figuring out her backstory. I thought was really fun. I also really appreciated the mature conversations that the characters in this book had about their relationships to each other and what's going on in their family lives. I get frustrated sometimes when I read YA and the adult author writes the kids as stupid or as unable to have difficult conversations. I thought Kelly Quinlan gave teenagers a lot of credit by writing them intentionally having difficult conversations because they knew that was what was best for them, and like writing teenagers who were really intelligent and were capable of doing hard things. I just think that's really cool, and a lot of YA authors could take note of that. I really liked the sort of found family element and the friendships that developed throughout the book. Then we went back to the Straits and I read The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood and thought it was fine, mediocre, not great. I get why people liked it. It was very readable, but I didn't like Olive as a narrator. I thought that the scenes in this book were some of the most contrived cliche scenes I've ever read, if I'm being honest. And I know this is an unpopular opinion. The number of times that the two characters get like thrown together and forced to do things because they're fake dating, it just felt ridiculous. Like sitting on his lap in the middle of a very important professional lecture, the scene where in front of all of their faculty and staff, she has to put sunscreen on him while he's playing ultimate frisbee. Like, I just couldn't get over how contrived a lot of it felt. To me, it felt like reading a fan fiction, which it was, but if I'm gonna pay money for a book, I don't want it to feel like a fan fiction I could read online for free. I liked some of the exploration of women in STEM and discrimination in the workplace against women. I thought some of that was handled well. Overall, I've just already forgotten most of it and it was not my favorite. If you loved it, more power to you. And last but not least, I read The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, which I had like no footage of me reading because I just listened to the audiobook on a long drive. Sorry about that. It's an enemies to lovers, like workplace rivals situation, and they're fighting for a new job and they hate each other. But do they actually? Spoiler alert, they don't. I thought this one was fun. It was fine. I liked Josh a lot and I thought his characterization was really good. I didn't like Lucy as much. I didn't understand why there was such an emphasis on how short and tiny and small she was. And that's true of a lot of these. Like in a lot of these books, there was just such stress put on the fact that these women were small and the men they were with were big. And I was like, okay, what about big women? What about tall women? What about fat women? Like, why are they all 5'2" and weigh fucking 120 pounds? Like, can we get some variety in here? I guess with this one, I just like didn't find it super realistic, and also there were a lot of moments in this that I was like, you should call HR and the two of you should both be fired for workplace harassment. And I just thought it was okay. I just thought it was very middle of the road. Overall, I'm really glad I did this video because it was really fun to just read pure fluff for a week instead of some of the more challenging classics that I have coming up for some videos. But it was very fun. It was nice to celebrate myself and to love myself a little bit extra this week in light of Valentine's Day. Please let me know your favorite romance books down below, especially if you have friends to lovers recommendations. As always, you can follow me on Instagram, Goodreads, and Storygraph. They'll be linked down below in the description. Like this video if you enjoyed it. It really helps me out a ton. I have some really exciting announcements coming up towards the end of this month, so hit subscribe so you don't miss any of them. I hope you're having an incredible Valentine's Day and showing yourself a little bit of extra love this coming week. I have to go read Simone de Beauvoir, but in case you haven't heard it today, I love you. Bye.